farm that I was raised on out on Sugar Creek. Like, the place I was raised was country boy's dream. You know, we had 12 acres of woods on a creek, and you know, our own farm, a barn, you know, nice little 2-story country house. You know, my dad, he was in the Navy for 25 years, and then he worked out in Tullahoma at A-Road, the Air Force Base, as an electrician for 27 years, and he took good care of us. And when we moved from out in the country to closer into Shelbyville, still the outskirts, where we lived on Duck River. And we went from living on a creek to living on a river, which was even better for me. Hell, I was in high school.
Stepping up.
And I just, you know, I saved up some money, bought me a flat bottom boat, and, you know, the river was my life at that time. You know, I was raised up on a creek, and then I was like, oh shit, man, I got a river. I can go up and down the river and fish and kick it all the time. And we moved closer into Shelbyville, went into Shelbyville to middle school, where it was a complete mix of people. You know, when I was a kid growing up, there was 2 tapes that I had growing up. It was Hank Williams Jr. and the Fat Boys. And I haven't get my hands on these 2 tapes like by kindergarten. You know, and that's all I was listening to. And then it was, you know, Beastie Boys and Johnny Cash, Run DMC and Jerry Reed. So growing up, I was flipping my tapes back and forth, country, rap, you know, back and forth. And even when I was 12, I remember shooting my first video. You know, my dad had the big, bulky camera, you know what I'm saying? We set it up in the dresser and put some half-naked women posters behind us. And I was decked out in all camouflage with my aviators on. This is at 12, you know, and I'm sitting there rapping at the camera doing Fresh Prince, Parents Just Don't Understand. You know, and it was like, when I look back at my childhood, I was like, man, this started a long time ago. Like, the preparation for where I'm going started at the grassroots, started when I was a seed, you know, and as I grew, the influences of music and people and lifestyles and everything just fueled my imagination and my soul and my spirit. And now that's what I pour into my music, you know, and how I was raised and where I was raised and what we did, our lifestyle, you know. I remember my dad having mason jars, you know, in his garage refrigerator, and I was like, what is he drinking? You know, because he had his Pabst Blue Ribbon, tomato juice, and then the mason jar. And I was like, I picked up on everything my dad did, you know, obviously. And so it was, you know, all that influence and all that absorption of who I was and growing up and just enjoying life. You know, I never really had a time in life that I didn't enjoy. You know, we didn't have a lot when we were younger, but we enjoyed the hell out of life. You know.
Well, see, that's what builds character. You ain't got a lot, man. You got to do with what you got.
Potted meat, a BB gun, and 12 acres of woods kept me busy all day.
That's right.
You know, like I get my little cans of potted meat and a couple crackers.
Oh, ain't nothing better than that,
BB
man.
gun, a whole box
Still
of
now.
BBs, and you know, maybe if I could steal a lighter from my dad and a couple of his more cigarettes. You know, I get out in the woods and build me a little fort and have my little tape player and, you know, play my music and just sit out there and just be, you know, be who I was.
Yeah.
Thinking back on that, man, it really makes sense to where I am today, and seeing that there's a lot of children that listen to my music, and I see that I influence a whole lot of younger people, and that's why I started focusing on cleaning up my music. Because if you listen to some of my old stuff, you know, it didn't start how it sounds today.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we didn't just jump out and say, hey, we know what we're doing, and this is who we are. We didn't know who he was. Shit, I didn't even have a tone. You know, I didn't even know what a tone was. You know, but to jump ahead musically, in 98, 99, I started writing. I was already writing like poetry. You know, I had a gift to write a story. I did real good in like drama class in school, writing scripts and writing, just being creative. You know, I knew that I was an artistic person because it bled out of me, and in more than one ways. And I was in the high school band. I was in the drum line. You know, I was big in drama class. I was big in art class, and everything that I really enjoyed all pointed to being like more of an artistic character in life. So I just, you know, I embraced it, and I ran with it, and, you know, I started writing poetry and short stories, and at the time what I would like to have thought I was writing movie scripts for my future movies, you know, and stuff like that. But, you know, I met my partner that I still work with, O-Rig. We've been working together now for 14 years.
Really?
I met him, and you know, he was learning how to be a DJ. He was taking these records, and he had bought this little sampler thing, and he was sampling parts of these records and looping them, and I was like, this is cool. Like, this kid is like me, you know. I see his artistic ability. So I just locked in with him, man. We hung out every day. I go to his house, we sit in his room, he'd sample these records, he'd read books on sound and audio and all this, and I would sit there and I'd write my poetry, you know. I'd start writing my poetry to the music he was making, and I was like, bro, I think we're on to something. Like, I think I got a song here, you know. Play that beat again. And you know, it wasn't like we just said, hey, we're going to start making music today. It was something that happened to us like an event, you know. It became who we were through, you know, through the universe, through nature, you know, gravity.
Also, a lot of people want to know how artists got their start.
Just happened.
You know, because you don't. Yeah, I mean, there's a few people that just grow up, say, I want to sing, I want to sing, I want to sing. But you know, like with anything else, sometimes you just fall into.
I never thought I wanted to sing.
Yeah. What did you think you wanted to do?
There was, you know,
besides writing movie scripts and stuff.
You know, I just wanted to be. I had so many things that I wanted to be, and I didn't know what I was going to be. You know, and I never really focused. I went to a lot of different colleges after high school. I went to barber school. I was going to open up a barber shop and like a music shop tied together. I had a lot of dreams. I went to truck driving school, went to welding school, went to small engine school, took drafting classes. I just didn't know.
Well, you know, I mean, you did what you needed to do in your mind.
Right.
And then, you know, you did all that, and that developed you, too, in a way.
Put my tentacles out there, and I felt the world, and, you know.
You know, that's good, because a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people get out of high school, man, don't know what to do.
Don't know what to do. So
they can't even walk in a straight line. They have no clue. Yeah.
I took a shot, you know, and I started making music with O-Rig. He was really persistent about wanting to be professional about it and learn. And I was just like, I just want to make music and be cool. I'm just a cool dude trying to do cool things, you know. And he was like, there's more to it than that, you know. There's a science to this. There's an education to this. So I supported him, and I was like, well, then let's get this education. Let's learn. Let's figure it out. So we started saving up our money. We bought equipment. We started learning that equipment. We saved up some more. We bought some more equipment. You know, I built a studio building outside of my house. It used to be the country store where I lived.
Yeah, I saw that. I like that, man. I love stuff like that.
That was my grandfather's my great grandfather's country store.
I see. That's cool that you're still a part of your family's history like that,
because
so much of it disappears, and the newer generation don't care about all that crap.
They forget about it.
So yeah, they don't have any use for it. And so when I see somebody like you that lives that loves that, that's just, man, that's
it means a lot to me to be able to be in that building where my family was making $1 back in 1893 when they were selling eggs, and then. You know, my grandfather inherited the store, and he got a wagon, and he, you know, started making deliveries and stuff. This ambition of my family to be business people, and you know, and that's the sense where I got my business side of me. It's from, you know, my family. It's just always been ambitious
through the generations.
Yeah, to be business people, and I didn't get a grasp on that until much later, after I put out, you know, a few albums and learned a few lessons, and then I realized that this is 90% business 10% music. You just got to make sure that 10% music is 150% real.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's good enough for that business.
You got to make sure that you got the product. You know what I'm saying, to push the business. But this is all business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love making music for the sake of making music. People hire me to come and do a show. That's business. When I get there and I show up, do the show, that's love of music.
Yeah.
You know, but it's that balance between the two. You know, but after years of buying equipment, learning how to use it, you know, and developing your skills to write songs and tell stories, and then finding your tone and finding who you are as an artist. It wasn't until after I put out this album, The True South, which was my second, third release that I put out. I'd always had the country vibe to what I was doing from my first CD back in 2001. It was called Country Kitchen. The front cover had me holding a big moonshine jug, tractor sitting on 28s, couple goats. Those my goats. You know, I didn't Photoshop those goats. Those were my goats.
Real live goats.
Yeah, and you know, we recorded it ourselves. We made our own music. We did our own graphics. We saved up our money. We pressed our own CDs up. We went out here and we hustled the streets. We pushed and we pushed and we pushed.
Well, that's the knocks, man. You got to go through the knocks before you get anywhere. You got the hard knocks, man.
You got to hit the streets.
You got to do it.
You cannot skip these steps or it'll come back to haunt you.
Well, see, that's good advice for these young kids that are coming out now. We get kids all the time, like I said, tweeting us and emailing us about, you know, listen to this, listen to that. And I'm thinking, you know, you got to keep track. You got to keep, you know, you got to keep pounding that pavement.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, there was so many nights we went 2nd Avenue, downtown Nashville, with a bag full of CDs to just give them away. I remember paying $45, $50 for a 15-minute spot on stage down on 4th Avenue at the coffee shop, Kung Fu Coffee. Back in the day, I used to rent my time.
Really?
To get in front of a crowd of Nashville hip-hop artists and people and do this music that they were like, I don't know. The white boy up there talking about country stuff.
Yeah.
You know, moonshine and stuff. I don't know. We just kept pushing it and developing it. And then it got easier because I realized, I was like, you know what, this can be a lot easier. All I have to do is tell my story. I don't have to tell this guy's story or this guy's story or pretend to be something that I'm not and tell that story. Well,
and that's what we were talking about earlier about the country music. A lot of the country music is not their story.
It's not.
It's imaginary story.
It might be a true story in somebody's life.
It's somebody's life,
but it's not the true story. And that's what I mean with this country hip hop. You get a truer. We're out there ourselves every day. Facebook, Twitter, street team, you know, face-to-face and hand-to-hand promotion everywhere we go as we travel from state to state doing shows. You know, we're out there grinding, trying to put it in everybody's hand in some shape, form, or fashion. Like, you know, here's a flyer, go home, go to the website, go to Facebook, go to YouTube, or if it seems like it's somebody that we really connect with, you know, here's a couple of CDs, go burn them, give them to your friends, you know. And then you get out here and it's crazy, man. You're somewhere that you've never been before, and there's fans there, you know, and you wonder, you're like, how did you even hear about me and stuff like HIck Hop Nation, you know what I'm saying? YouTube, Facebook, social media, where it's just a click of a button and you share with everybody something that you're interested in, and other people take interest, and you know, then you've got a growing genre of music.
Well, see, it's great that all of that's out there now, because it makes it easier for you guys than say, you know, 10 years ago or 5 years ago. Even it was harder to get the word out, and now there's so many different avenues that you can use to.
How many people would have never heard of who I was had I not shot a video in my backyard for for kicking it in Tennessee and posted it up on YouTube.
Those good videos, by the way.
Just on whim. Thank
we
you.
like it. You know, that's real, man. That's a lot of people like that.
Man. I mean, you know, that's the thing that's what I meant when I said, you know, country rap music and southern hip hop or hick hop, whatever you want to call it. That's the thing about it, man, is that it's at an all-time growing level right now. You know, people just, they click and they share and they're like, oh man, this is real. You know, we like country music and country music is good. We like rap music is cool. But this right here takes the best of both worlds and puts it together, you know. And like I said, with this being kind of the truer story, you know what I'm saying? There's not hired models that are dancing in the background. That's my family. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, it's not water in these mason jars. Like, we're getting drunk. We're drinking shine.
Well, see, that's what people want to see. They want to see the real life, I think, and it creates a bond, even though it's not a real bond. It's an imaginary bond between
the doors.
You know,
like, this is my real life.
Exactly. They feel closer to you. They feel, you know, they feel part of it.
You know, come hang out with us. And
Yeah.
that's why, whenever, you know, I got to the point where I was like, you know, we're on to something here. This is going to grow to the next level. I'm going to put all my time and all my focus in this and make sure that we grow this the right way. And when thinking about our fans, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been on the road with other artists, and I had seen how a fan base grows and how when you give your fan base an identity, how they grasp hold of that and how they live it, you know. So I had been out with, I'll tell you what really sparked it in my mind is I was out on tour with another artist. We went out with ICP and did like 32 cities back to back on the Dark Lotus tour a few years back. These dudes have got a following, the juggalos and the juggalettes. You know what I'm saying? Whoop, whoop, everywhere you go at the show. Who's going chicken hunting? You know, like this is a fan base that would, like, when you see them, you would be like, damn, they would die for them. You know? That shit is strong. Like, that is strong. And thinking about my fans and, you know, wanting to give them an identity, that's when we came up with the idea of kinfolk. You know, kinfolk, it was, some people might say it was, some people was misled into believing that it was a group because it was a CD that was named it, but it was named for the fans. You know what I'm saying? It was a way of me breaking this name out and giving people an identity. If you like this music and you can identify with me as a person, then you're my kinfolk. You know, so.
Well, it's the same way with the new one, that Bonfire Music. Same thing, man. Everybody sitting around a fire.
Yeah, it's
just sharing whatever and just,
it's about being more than fans. It's about being friends. It's about
guys, Hick Hop Nation TV here with the one and only. Who is this?
Boss of the Sticks.
Boss of the Sticks, Big Smo. He's about to hit it out here at Wild Bill's in Atlanta and going to bring down the house, man. Appreciate you talking to us, man.
Thanks a lot,
Appreciate
man.
you.
Thanks
and
a lot.
Keep up the good music and let us know when you got some more tours around here in the area so we can come on out and be with you.
Absolutely.
And,
I'll keep y'all posted.
All right, brother. Once again, we appreciate everything that you're going to do. And
y'all watching Hick Hop Nation TV.
There you go.